Okay, let's see here. Just going to do a little recap of the day. Hopefully, we have audio. We'll know after this recording is finished. So today's a very good day. So it, when the market opened today at about 6:30, everything was really slow, and I saw stuff hitting the scanners, but nothing really stuck out until this KONE stock here popped up on the scanners. And what was interesting about KONE was it popped up and grabbed my attention, but I wasn't quick enough to enter a trade on this one. So as soon as I saw it, um, pretty much was halted. And if we look here, stock's halted for today. It's halted at about 9:55. So stock market opens, at 9:30 East Coast time, and this was when I took my, first trade. It was KONE today. Um, so, it had tons of volume, and there really wasn't too much of a setup, but when something is moving that quickly, it's kind of like, do you want to ride that momentum and profit? This thing was on its way up and didn't really look to be slowing down. So if we see here, took my first trade at 6:55. I was filled at 5:30, 2,000 shares. And what was interesting, as soon as I was up about $400 on the name, it was halted again. So from 6:55 to, I think this was a 10-minute halt, I believe. Yeah. Or the first one was 6:50. First one looked like it was 10. I don't recall. Can't tell. Um, Anyways, so when the stock resumed, it closed up here at 5:52. It opened back up again at about 5:80. Well, I looked down here at my chart at unrealized profit, and I saw it was up over $1,000. And for me, that would be my biggest win. So I immediately went to sell. I think I sold on the bid for this one. But yeah, I ended up getting a fill price of at 617. And as you know, this happens really quick. So if you look here, 617, and I sold at 7:05 a.m. So in literally just 10 minutes, uh, I actually was up $1,700. So that was my biggest trade to date. Since starting this trading. And just so everyone knows, this is all paper money, simulated money. It's not a real cash account. It's just I'm using the software Fantasy Stock Traders, and it's just a part of the class that I'm taking. So that was a big win. I had my second biggest win yesterday at $900 on Monday. My third biggest win on Friday at $700. And so I can show you that here. Keep track of it all. So Friday 710, we're showing 890 on Monday yesterday. Now yesterday I did something interesting because I was almost over $1,000 and I decided to probably do something I otherwise wouldn't, if I wasn't up. I got a little risky, so you know I made 40 cents on DSS yesterday, and I decided to attempt to make some more profit because the stock seemed really strong. And yesterday, DSS was also halting. So very similar to today's trade. Um, that cost me, and I finished up yesterday, about 300 bucks. So today I decided, maybe it's a good time to walk away. But rather than trade the same stock, I just said, well, I might be on a little hot streak on a rhythm, and maybe I can keep up that success. But I decided I was done with KONE. It would be too risky for that thing to just keep popping up. The likelihood, it just didn't seem like the risk reward ratio would be in my favor. So I took a small trade, smaller in size, only 1,000 shares on mark, and I was up, but I didn't execute the trade quick enough, and it ended up being a losing trade. $50, it's here on my screen. So that was the next trade. Let's see here if I can figure out. So, as you can see, market was squeezing up right over here, and it looked good. And then it had this pullback, so I ended up getting filled at 1071, which this would be right about here. And as you can see, you know, it just came right back down. So we broke the high of day, which I think was 1065 or 10 at the time, and we had decent volume, 138,000 shares, but it just didn't work out. The float, I believe, on Mark was a lot larger, so it wasn't going to move. But again, I knew it was risky. I took 1,000 shares. I lost 50 bucks. No big deal. Still up overall on the day. And then Lens hit the scanners. Now, my first trade on Lens, uh, I think I lost another. Let's see here. 40 bucks, 40, 50. So, I said, man, I just had that awesome trade, and then, now my accuracy is kind of low. But again, I took smaller size to limit my risk. I didn't want to lose a lot of the money that I just made. KONE. So on Lens here, you see bought 613, my fill for 1,000 shares, and then sold 610, and one's at 726.49. So 10 seconds later, I'm selling, you know. And the funny thing is on this one, Lens had a very huge spread earlier. See, I have it up here on the level 2. And if you look on the left, the bid over here is 526. The ask is 545. And so, I mean, the spread on that's like 20 cents. So the price just jumps. It's choppy in a way, meaning it's not smooth. The price action of this was up, down, constantly. And it looked like I was up to make 60 bucks on the name, and then it moved so quick that I took a 3-cent loss. So, very risky, I think, with the spread like that. We'll have to see in the future if that continues to be a trend. So that was at 727, 26 on Lens. So, kind of right around here. Spiked up, broke high of day. That red line that I have here is the, I believe, yeah. So looked like a good entry, but again, it moves so quick on me. yeah, I didn't make out so well. So I took another trade at 7:32. It's right around here. And it looks like I was filled at 689, squeezing up again. So that would be right around this level. And I literally sold at $7. Again, you see, I took the bot at 7:32 to 28, and 7 seconds later at 7:35, I sold that position for um, it's like a 10-cent gain, 11 cents. Right, fill price was 689, 7 flat for 1,000 shares. So I made $100, you know, 100, 10 cents times 1,000 shares, roughly. And so I ended up netting positively on wins. And so, I decided then, I'd be done for the day. Um, the market was kind of like this yesterday, where it started off very slow the first 20 minutes or so, and then finally saw, action hitting the scanners over here in the corner. Um, so I've been trading since, let's see here, December 5th, when I first started trading in the simulator here. And so I had a huge learning curve up until the 8th. And then it really wasn't until the 8th, I got on that 10 trade hot streak, you know, for $1,300. And I finally started to turn this around and have a better understanding of what I'm doing. So, oh, shoot. But yeah, so finally started to turn it around. So I decided to kind of sort of redo my stats up from December 8th. And so with today's win, you know, my current stats, about 17 wins to 12 losses. My profit loss ratio is finally positive, which is a really good sign. I'm making about $1.50 for every $1 I'm losing, almost. Almost up 5,000 and 3,500 in losses. Today's accuracy was 50-50, so not great, but overall, 60%. And so, know, overall profits is $1,400 since December 8th, yeah. And so all in all, not bad. I think I finally, have my eye on the prize and I know what I need to do. I don't know if the markets have just been in my favor, but we'll just keep at it and see how the metrics, you know, pan out and see if I can be profitable long term. Um, See if this training pays off, so where I'll be able to sustain, a real cash account. So that's all. Just wanted to recap today, and hitting scanners. So, anyways, yeah, I was really proud of to make a little bit of money on Lynn's. Um, Ross actually lost 2 grand on this name today, so it's kind of cool to actually make a little profit, you know, on something where your mentor or teacher is actually struggled a little bit. So just a little confidence boost. Certainly not of this caliber. But all right, thanks. Talk to you guys later.